Hello the YouTubes, Ash back once again with another retro review. This time I'm doing one of my personal favourites, The Usual Suspects. Directed by Bryan Singer and starring Kevin Spacey, Stephen Baldwin, Kevin Pollak, Chaz Palminteri, Pete Postlethwaite and Gabriel Byrne. Now, quite often people will ask me what is my favourite film of all time, and for a long time my instant go-to answer was The Usual Suspects. It might not necessarily be my favourite film of all time, but it's just an instant answer for me. There's not much about this film I don't like. In fact, thinking about it, there's nothing about this film I don't like. It's about as close to a perfect movie as you can possibly get. For those of you who haven't seen it, The Usual Suspects is about a group of criminals who are brought in to do a lineup. While held in the prison cell, they come together and agree to do a job together, only to later find out that this lineup was not a coincidence and some malevolent criminal is pulling all of the strings. Now, does this guy really exist or not? That's for the viewer to find out. Now, the thing that I absolutely adore about The Usual Suspects is the ending. I'm not going to spoil it for those of you who haven't seen it, but it has one of, if not the best twists of all time. And I'm talking better than The Sixth Sense, because that can fuck right off. It's not so much the reveal of who this criminal is, it's how it was all put together that I like. I watched this once and my dad had walked in halfway through. I don't even think he'd seen the film before, and he knew who the criminal was straight away, just because he's a cocky shit like that. But it's not about that. It's not about finding out who Keyser Söze is. It's about how the story's constructed and how it all comes together and how it was formed. It's just a cut above anything else. As I said at the start, it's directed by Bryan Singer, and this, at the time, nobody really knew who he was. I think he'd only had one other movie out called Apt Pupil, which I still haven't got around to seeing. But obviously since then he's gone on to do X-Men, X-Men 2, the latest X-Men Days of Future Past, and of course Superman Returns. Written by Christopher McQuarrie, who has done some decent stuff since, but he's never managed to come close to what he achieved with the script for this film. Similarly, you could say that about some of the actors. Stephen Baldwin's never done anything on this level ever since. Kevin Pollak tends to gravitate more towards comedy roles, which is fair enough. That's essentially what he is. He's a comedian. But he's never done anything as gritty or dramatic as this. Kevin Spacey has just had one of the best careers going. He's got to be one of the best actors ever, without a doubt. If you haven't watched House of Cards on Netflix, see if you can pick that up, because the performance he puts in, that's just amazing. So you obviously expect Kevin Spacey to be good, but he is world class in this. Similarly, Chaz Palminteri, I've never seen much of him outside of this. In fact, the only other film I think I've seen him in is A Night at the Roxbury. He's awesome in that, but that's a shit film really. But he's quality in this. Dan Hedaya, I think that's how you say it. Hedaya, I don't know. He was in Commando and Clueless before this. Who else pops up? Gus from Breaking Bad, Giancarlo Esposito. He plays a copper in this. And the other day when I watched this in preparation for this review, I spotted Clark Gregg, Agent Coulson, which was pretty cool. I didn't really know he was in this until the other day. Oh my god! I missed Benicio del Toro, for fuck's sake. How did I miss him? He plays Chuck Fenster, who is just quality. You can't understand a word he says. He's brilliant. And apparently he got this role on the strength of his very brief role in Swimming with Sharks that he appeared in with Kevin Spacey, which I might do a video review on at some point. I recently did a written review on it, but I think that was on my old site, which is being shut down now, so it might be worth doing one. Because if you haven't seen Swimming with Sharks, you really need to. Basically what I'm getting at here is all the performances are absolutely bang on. The direction is bang on. The script is bang on. This is, without a doubt, like I said before, the closest you're going to get to a perfect movie, as far as I'm concerned. Recently, The Departed has maybe just overtaken this as my favourite film, or as my go-to favourite film when I'm asked the question. It's hard to pick an actual favourite, because some days I'm just in the mood for a different kind of genre. Like, I don't watch The Usual Suspects on a weekly basis. In fact, I watch it once every couple of years, and that's enough for me. Same with The Departed. Whereas something like The Avengers I could watch over and over and over again. This is one of those films that's really hard to review because I want to go into the detail of what makes it so good, but like I said, that what makes it so good is the ending, and there's probably a few of you out there who haven't seen this yet, and I don't want to spoil it for you. Although I think Scary Movie did that anyway. But if you have managed to get this far without seeing it, and no one spoiled the end for you, then I don't want to be that guy who does that, because I would hate it if someone spoiled it for me. So The Usual Suspects, have you seen it? If not, why not? Please, if you haven't, go out and find it and watch it, because it is absolutely amazing. It's one of the best films of all time, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion as well. It's not just me. You know, I'm not being paid off by Bryan Singer here. It really is that good. So now, over to you. What other films would you like to see me do a retro review of? And we'll count retro as anything that's already out on DVD. So it could be just 6 months old, but still retro because it's not out in the cinema, which is what I was aiming to do with this channel. But I'm not going to get to the cinema very often at the minute, so keep me working, find me things to watch. So if you can think of any film you think that I need to review or I need to watch to review, please leave a comment below. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button up there, and tell your friends, tell your family, but most of all, don't tell me mom. I will see you next time.